supreme victory.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Twitter Trash. I decided to continue the series where I was thinking, I don't know, I might retire it. It's been going on since 2017, but I had to just keep going because I was inspired by a few tweets that I saw over Super Bowl weekend. Hope you guys had a good time watching the sports ball. You know, congratulations to the LA Rams. Even though, I'm not really a Rams fan, but hey, I was born in LA. I gotta support, so congratulations, there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. It was an interesting game. There was some interesting calls that was, people were kind of like, what's going on here? But at the end of the day, it seems like the best team won. Cool stuff. Now, with what comes with the Super Bowl is always controversy in the halftime show. There's always these chuds, right, that are always trying to say there's something satanic about it. There's always something wrong with it. This time you had Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, you had 50 Cent, you had Kendrick Lamar, and you had Eminem perform. Mary J. Blige, I think, right? And then it was like, whoa, this is crazy. This is like, everyone loves these people, pretty much for the most part. I've only heard nothing but good things. I saw it myself, and I thought this was really cool. That being said, we have to talk about this tweet from Charlie Kirk. The NFL is now the league of sexual anarchy. This halftime show should not be allowed on television. This tweet really doesn't make sense. This tweet seems like it was pre-packaged. Sometimes when I'll tweet, say I'm watching a UFC live event, and I'll just tweet hashtag UFC whatever event it is, and then I'll save it in my draft so I can just easily pick it up real quick, and whatever I need to say, boom, that hashtag will already be connected, so I can tweet a little bit faster. I can just get a jump on it, right? Because I get really involved in the UFC and their live events and whatnot. So it seems like this is maybe something pre-packaged, because if you watch the halftime show, it wasn't overtly sexual. I don't even remember. I was like, oh yeah, there were women dancing at some point, but I don't even remember what they were watching. I was just watching these legends just perform classics, man. It made me feel really young. It was pretty nice. And I was like, what is this? This doesn't even make sense. And what's even funnier is that some people dug up some tweets of him back in the day, from 2016. And this is what he said then about the Super Bowl. This halftime show is fire. And look who's performing, and look at them. Look at that ensemble. What an ensemble. It's just damn, bro, it's only been 6 years and you turned into a boomer? So it just kind of, it screams the question, is he just grifting? Is he just playing into his boomer, incel audience or whatever? Or does he genuinely feel like this? Just 6 years later, when he had no problem with this whatsoever, then there's way less of the sexualness or whatever this year, which just happened, and he's freaking out about that. I don't know enough about the guy, but either way, it's a little silly. To be fair, 2 years ago, I didn't outright oppose sexual immorality like I do today. Thank you so much for weighing in, Mr. Nazi. Oh my god, it's just these are the people that entertain this stuff. These are the people that are yeah, sexual immorality, showing too much leg, I guess. Where it's what is happening? What is this, man? I don't even know. Continue with the NFL. There was quite a few people, chuds that were disappointed that there was too many dark-skinned people performing. But I'm not going to go over all the tweets. There was one in particular that stood out above the rest. Sad that the NFL has degraded to hard R crap. The hard R cafe crap. And would you take a look at that ratio, man? I mean, you can't be surprised. You can't be surprised at all. It's just kind of I feel like you gotta give this dude props just a little bit. I'm not saying give him props for being a racist, but give him props for being this brazen to just tweet something out like that. Just to be I am a racist piece of trash, and I need people to know this.
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋。
Now let's transition to South Park, right? South Park has been on for infinity billion years. I don't really watch anymore. I did watch half of the COVID special, and then I kind of forgot about it when the second half came out. It was okay. It's just not South Park like it used to be. I mean, how could it be? After a while, you run out of a lot of good ideas, right? You're like, whatever. We're just gonna streamline this thing. It's gonna be linear. We're just gonna talk about current events and just get that bag. I can't blame them at the end of the day, but you can't blame me for not watching. No, I bring this up because I guess they're getting ready for a new season, and so people have been tweeting about South Park, and here's an interesting tweet that's about South Park. As a 33-year-old man, I like how it just starts off with, like, in parentheses, South Park really did a number on my moral compass growing up. Disappointed face.
Disappointed!
I genuinely don't understand these people that get their morals from a fucking cartoon show, or get their morals from just, like, a show in general. Like, you know, there's like all these shows that as kids grow up, they teach you things, and that's cool, but really your morals should just come from, hopefully, your decent parents, right? They teach you stuff and you go to them for guidance. Hopefully they're good. Hopefully they're decent people, and then they teach you, you know, good, right and wrong and all this stuff, and then they shape your morality in a good way. Maybe the people whose parents didn't pay attention to them are the people that are getting their morals from South Park, because I've watched South Park since its inception. I remember when my neighbors were talking about, dude, did you see that show, that cartoon show? It's called South Park. There was this kid with the hoodie was drinking gasoline, like, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And whenever I think of South Park, I think of like silly moments. I think of like Imagination Land, which was later, it was like its prime, but like at the end of its prime. I think of like, I don't know, I think of just really stupid things, really stupid moments, and like, oh, this show is really funny. Like Mrs. Garrison explaining evolution.
And then one day a retard baby fish crawled out of the ocean with its mutant fish hands, and it had butt sex with a squirrel or something and made this.
I don't think about like like, oh, this really shaped me how I view things, and I'm gonna be cynical, and I'm gonna be just like Matt and Trey. Like, what are you talking about? Actually, both sides are wrong. Every episode. Honestly, I can't think of a more cowardly show. The older I've gotten, the more I've felt that centrism is a bullshit political ideology. It's doing nothing more than patting yourself on the back for taking the rational and logical approach. Holy crap. South Park has taught a generation that believing in anything is stupid, and if you never take a side, you're always the smartest in the room and can never get made fun of. Like I said, cowards. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how ideologues approach cartoons. I also think there's maybe a little bit of a generational gap since I said I watched it from its inception. To me, South Park is like Russell Crowe beating the shit out of everybody, and then the kids just trying to watch Terrence and Phillip, the new trailer, right? The new movie. It's Korn parodying Scooby-Doo with Pirate Ghost. It's Chimpokemon, the Pokemon ripoff. It's like stuff like that I find so much more funny and enjoyable. It's Wilsiak, the killer whale that gets shot to the moon, which is one of the funniest things I've ever seen on that show. It's stuff like that, and then sure, when they got political or religious or whatever, they usually would just take a dump on stuff. Yeah, they weren't trying to take a stance because it's a fucking cartoon show. And the people that, it's like, the people that just can't just recognize that it's a cartoon show, because Matt and Trey Parker, I'm assuming they would tell you, hey, don't get your morals from this show. Don't get your worldview from this show. Don't shape your political ideology from South Park. What are you, stupid? That's a rhetorical question. Of course you are. Married with Children has taught a generation of men to be sexist and misogynistic, and I love that show. I love Al Bundy, but I am not Al Bundy. I watched it as a sitcom that was funny. Like, why? What is wrong with you people? Just watch these fake shows and have fun. That's it. Apple News posts an article, Full House, alum Bob Saget's cause of death revealed. And this lady, she says, accidental head trauma while in a hotel room, but nothing to see here? This sounds suspicious. And then this really skeptical genius says, people will always believe anything the news tells them. Lol. Ladies and gentlemen, people are not okay. People are not okay right now. A celebrity dying in a hotel room is probably one of the most normal things you could hear. Just Google how many celebrities die in hotel rooms from various things. ODing, yeah, hitting your head, a bunch of reasons, because a lot of shady stuff happens in hotel rooms. Unfortunately, you're lonely, you're there traveling for X amount of reasons, you do some stuff, and whoopsie, stuff happens. So the reason why anybody's even speculating, because a bunch of people, a bunch of crazies were saying Bob Saget died from getting the vaccine, and they're trying to cover it up. I just you know, the funny, the best thing about all this stuff is all the information that like all these like anti-vaxxers and stuff think that like, oh, they are trying to cover them up. They could just go to the websites of like the CDC or whomever, and there's plenty of information, there's plenty of data available. But they don't do that. They just, somebody will say they're covering it up and then they won't even verify it. They'll just like, oh yeah, and then they just don't do the bare minimum to see, well, what are they covering up? What is it exactly? Oh, let me go check and see if it's there or not. Let me see if there's any data available about deaths or death tolls or anything. It's like, it's all there. If you want to look at it, it's all there, you know? But it's not as sexy though, right? It's not as sexy to think that like there's this crazy things happening in everything, in every aspect of life. There's this crazy conspiracy that Bob Saget died in a hotel room. Ooh, so sexy. Reminder, if you are not black and you continue to use black gifs / memes liberally, you're partaking in digital blackface. And yes, that includes insert non-black racialized people, probably you. Would love to see my younger mutuals grow more aware of this. You know, I hear from like the bread tube side of YouTube, you know, all the white progressives, that they try to push the narrative that, you know, like the whole SJW movement or whatever was going on back in the day of the anti-SJW stuff was just a bunch of nonsense from the get-go. And I just say, I'm like, do you not remember when there was a huge wave of digital blackface? Things that you guys would think is obviously stupid. But there's people pushing this stuff. There was outlets picking this stuff up. It wasn't just that. It was a multitude of things. There was a reason why people were just annoyed. And they were like, shut up. Like, it's this stuff. Like, shut up. Go away. This is dumb. No one actually cares about this. Stop trying to make it a thing. And then once it died down, most people went away. And now you're saying, you're basically Mandeling it, just being like, oh, see, it was bullshit from the get-go. It was no need. People were just overreacting. I'm like, dude, the videos are there. I know you didn't watch any of them, but MTV News, they were all doing some dumb shit. Now I've seen some people say, I think these were like PSYOPs or COINTELPRO or something like that. No, it was just people being dumb. It happens. People get excited. It turns into a movement. And then it's like, hey, that was a little cringy, right? We got a little carried away. You know, why do you think cults exist? I mean, come on, let's be real, guys. Dear ladies, there's no reason whatsoever for you to post pictures of yourself in low-cut shirts, bikinis, bra, and underwear, or anything similar. Ever. Not to show your weight loss journey, not to show your newborn baby, not to document your birth story. Your brothers. And you see, this is just as silly as the digital blackface thing, but just on the other side of the political spectrum. You have these crazies that just have to just open their mouths and try to... It's so stupid. You're like, no one's gonna adhere to this. Everyone thinks you're stupid. Just shut up. And for this last one, guys, I need to ask you a question. Have you heard of Vtubers? I'm assuming you might have, maybe you haven't. I'm assuming it's called Vtubers as like virtual YouTubers, I think. But essentially, it's for the vast majority of Vtubers that exist, it's an anime avatar, right? And then it moves and stuff, and then usually people are making a very chibi voice, the anime squeaky little girl type of stuff that's I'm not a fan of, you know. It's kind of weird, it's kind of creepy, just being honest. You know, I know there's a lot of people that do like it, but I'm like, ugh. And so apparently there's one name, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Russia? I have no idea, but apparently she has a boyfriend. and some of her fans, they're not happy. I'm shaking and crying. What we had was special. 2 years down the drain. I hope you're happy with him, Russia, or whatever. None of you can criticize me because none of you had what we had. I used to think love isn't real, but she changed my mind, and the past few days have been the worst of my life. Please try to understand my feelings. We've been through so much. She helped me sleep, even cleaned my ears multiple times? What? What is it? What? I can't sleep or eat knowing she might be dating someone. I'm refunding my $10,000 super chat to Russia right now. Charge back all of your super chats, guys. If we all do it, she might break up with him and she can be mine again. Boycott Russia. What? Oh my god. I spent $2K on super chats. You can't do this to me. No. Please, I'm crying. I'm fucking in tears. I love you, Russia, whatever. I love you. Please don't. Please, I wake up every day. No, stop you fucks. This whore is my Oshi. I don't know what that means. Fuck 2022. Holy shit.